Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason. Well, I was going to say happy Monday. Monday's never that happy, but happy Monday anyway. You know what? We'll make the best of it. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. We may have an end to the government shutdown. We'll see. It's close. What did they accomplish? Absolutely nothing. But again, well, I shouldn't say that. See, that's not true. They've opened the door. Again, hopefully, maybe, possibly, to spend a lot more money. Gold and silver are absolutely flying this morning. Gold right now, it's up only $86. And we've been telling everybody, right? This is the new normal. $100 move in gold, just kind of, where, man, for the first probably 20-some years I was in this industry, that was almost unheard of. We just didn't see it.
A few hours ago, it was up about 110, wasn't it?
Yeah. Silver right now, up $1.60, right? Bumping right up on $50. Do not wait. Do not wait. For those of you that weren't convinced, and I get it, right? Well, gosh, they've made runs before. They've made runs before, and then the bankers get their arms around it, and it comes crashing down. And we told you this is not the same market, not even close. This is not the market of the 80s. Right? The market of the 80s, the creation of, wait a minute, let's just create debt, and the Hunt brothers cornering the silver market. It's not that market. This is not the market of the financial crisis, right? The financial crisis, everyone's panicked. No one knows what to do. They couldn't believe it. They were in shock that guys like me have been right the whole time. Whole time. This is a house of cards. You know what isn't a house of cards? Gold and silver. That's not a house of cards. It's real. This is not colored paper. Because let's face it, what is money today? Colored paper. It's debt. Right? How does money get created? Through debt. Gold and silver are no one's debt. And let me tell you right now, it's incredible. Central bank after central bank after central bank after central bank lining up, buying as much gold as they can. They don't care about $4,000 gold or $4,500 gold, $5,000 gold. They don't care about $50 silver. Did you see over the weekend? Shh. Don't tell anybody. See what Trump administration did with silver over the weekend? Anybody? Anybody paying attention? Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. It's a critical asset. Huh. Remember there was a guy, what was his name? Oh, yeah, Bill Clinton. Remember Bill Clinton sold the United States Silver Reserve. Apparently, having a silver reserve may be a really good idea. I'm just telling you, I'm going to help you today. Ready? I'm going to help you. I'm going to ignore. Wow, what just happened? Silver, $50. Just like that, bang. Up $1.75. I'm going to ignore it. I didn't see it. I'm asleep. Silver Eagles today, $1,165. That is what they were on Friday. The exact same price is Friday. Essentially, silver's up essentially $2 an ounce. So you could easily do the math, right? Silver today should be $1,205, right? 40 more bucks. Because there's 20 ounces of silver in each roll of U.S. Silver Eagles, $1,165 at 800-951-0592. Again, everything's on pace. The question for silver is not whether or not silver's going to be $50. That's not the question. The question is, how close to 100 is it going to be? That's the question. And I'm not talking how close to 100 in 10 years. How close to 100 is silver going to be in the next, 10 weeks, 10 months? In that time frame, don't be shocked to see silver at $100, Jason. Why? Because there is a huge deficit, and no matter what the price is, it's almost irrelevant what the price is. They need AI. They're going to digital money. Regardless of what the price of silver is, they're going to need it.
I think this move today is anticipating the end of the government shutdown. I think that's part of that.
Oh, yeah. Spend money. Look at what did Donald Trump come out? Hey, I'm going to take some tariff revenue. Everyone's going to get $2,000. Well, not everyone. Not everyone. Not the rich folks. Uh-oh. It's back. Quantitative easing's coming back. Now we got, government checks going out. Oh, yeah. Buckle up. You ain't seen nothing. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason. On this Monday, guys, get ready. An avalanche of spending is coming. Rate cuts. I can almost now guarantee you another rate cut. Everyone now, I saw over the weekend, the government jobs number that we did not get. Everyone said it was going to be negative. There's people out there saying, dude, it was going to be negative 70, 80, 90,000 jobs. Some people saying the unemployment rate is now up to 4.5. We don't know. But let's take a quick look at the markets here. The Dow's only up 50. The S&P's up 56. The Nasdaq's up 300. The 10-year note, right? Higher, right now the shock, 411 on the 10-year note. Crude oil just sitting right around $60, as we talked about. Gold's up 90, actually 91, 4,093. Silver's up $1.75, 49.98. As everybody is looking at the details. Here's what we know so far. So, they've had one vote, okay? They still need two more. But they've got the 60 to get it done. Then they got to vote on some other things. So, one being a continuing resolution. So, there is no budget. So think about it. We didn't have a budget last year either. There is no budget. This is going to be funded on a continuing resolution. And then, of course, it's got to go to the House. And then it'll go to the president's desk. Here's what we think we know. This continuing resolution will reopen the government until January 30th. So this one will get you through, I guess, Christmas, and then I don't know if we go through this nonsense all over again. Here's another interesting one. Maybe not that interesting. I think probably expected. It will reverse the Trump administration's firing of all furloughed workers. And by the way, all furloughed workers will get their pay. They'll all get back pay. So no one got fired, and everyone gets paid. The three-bill spending package known as the minibus. This is just one of these things that they're going to fund the military, the VA, the legislative branch, the Department of Agriculture, and the FDA. Okay, and it looks like they may fund those for the rest of the year. So potentially, now don't quote me on this, but potentially these things that I just said, fund military construction, the VA, the legislative branch, agriculture, and the FDA, they may not be part of the next shutdown. I'll try to get more details. Food stamps will not be part of the next shutdown. And notice how I said the next one, right? Kind of a given. That is going to be funded for the entirety of fiscal year 2026. So remember, October started fiscal year 2026 for the federal government. So food stamps is funded through September. The package does not extend any of the expiring pandemic-era Obamacare subsidies. But what I'm being told, Jason, is they promise a vote on it. That is the extent. They promised a vote. And it's kind of interesting. Think about it. I want to be clear on this. This was the added subsidies during Obamacare. They spent so much money, not during COVID, for Obamacare. And, of course, now we're starting to see the magnitude of what they have done as people out there, look at they're running the same thing my wife and I did. Well, gosh, it's just me and my wife. We're pretty healthy people. I got to pay $1,500 a month with a $10,000 deductible, and our coverage sucks. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Right? Other people are like, oh, my God, it's me, my husband, my two kids, I got to pay $2,000 a month. Dude, that's a huge part of people's budget. Could you imagine if you're making $50,000 and you've got to pay, even $1,000 a month? That's a fourth of your income before taxes, just on health care. Right? Remember the rule, Jason, was your housing payment, they want it to be a third or less of your take-home income. And now we're at a situation where health insurance is essentially now a third to 40% of your take-home income. It's outrageous.
That deductible sounds close to what I remember. It's been a long time since I looked at it, but I think the deductible is $5,000 or $10,000, and then there's the monthly cost that you're supposed to clunk in, and it doesn't seem like there's a really good answer for healthcare, Joe. And it seems like insurance is under a lot of stress. All insurance.
All of it. All insurance. You think about homeowner insurance, car insurance, health insurance, and it just makes sense, right? When you think about, well, what do things cost? And remember, the government hides inflation, right? If you go back, even today, they've got us convinced inflation's, it's not that bad at 3%. Oh, it's not that bad. It's kind of mild. The way they calculate it, if you go back to how they calculated inflation in the 80s, do you know what inflation would be right now? Close to 7. 7.
Makes you wonder if Obamacare was actually just made to help float the insurance, the health insurance.
Well, it was a way to hide it, right? It was a way to hide. Remember all the nonsense, keep your doctor, and then they try to convince us, well, it's, the people that don't, there's so many young people that don't have insurance, and now young people, you can be on your parents' insurance till they're 26. Not my kids. Not my kids, by the way.
It's definitely floating health insurance. I'm looking,
right.
2018, the average state, there's a state map. So this is obviously older charts. I'm looking at different charts. It's about $500 a month. And deductibles, if you're with Medicaid, is $2,000. But if you don't have Medicaid, then it's up to $10,000. So, that's Obamacare. You were talking about regular health care. And Obamacare, it looks like they're gonna make a uniform cost at some point. It looks like.
Listen, the small businesses can't afford to pay it. They're essentially forcing you to work for a mega corporation. How many people out there know people that one of the spouses is working solely for the health benefits? In other words, I had to get a job at a bigger place just so we could get health care because the big company can hide the cost a little better, right? It is killing small business in America. It's destroying it, and they lie. They lie so bad about it. We talked about the COLA increase this year. They even admitted, well, we'll give you 2.8%, but we had to charge you more for Medicare and Medicaid, so you really got nothing, right, on it. But don't worry, it's not that bad. It's kind of mild. It's a lie. Look at insurance. This is the truth. Here's the truth. The insurance is telling you the truth of what it really costs. Because guess what? The insurance companies, they can't lie, right? If the house burns down and they have to replace it, if the car gets into an accident and they have to fix it, if you get sick and you go to the hospital and they have to pay for it, those numbers don't lie. And the insurance companies are telling you the government is full of crap when they sit there and try to convince you that inflation is mild. And look at what they're going. Listen, quantitative tightening's over. We already have quasi-quantitative easing already started. The Treasury's already pulling tricks. Now the government shutdown's getting ready to end. And Donald Trump, hey, I'm getting ready to send out $2,000 apiece to all you poorer people, and we'll use the tariff money to do it, right? Well, wait a minute. I thought the tariff money was supposed to pay for the tax cuts. Oh, wait, whoops. Oh, was it? Oh, well, we've already used it for a bunch of other stuff. What's a little more? Jason, this thing's out of control. It's great. Hey, listen, it's great for gold and silver. It's great if you're getting into Texas, because I keep telling everyone, you better have more income. Jason, I don't understand what people are thinking right now. How can they think they can get away without more income?
We're entering an age where you got to be good at creative math. There's going to have to be creative math. I watched a clip. Sometimes I always got to find interesting things to talk about on the show. And I'm not a big fan of the show, but that show Landman, which is Texas oil, right? And one of the clips is very interesting. It's creative math, right? He's talking to, he's got this lady that's this person who's kind of overseeing, the numbers and making sure they all make sense. And he's explaining to them why they allow the cartel to steal their trucks. It's like, you let them steal the trucks?
Right. Yep.
Why do you let them steal the trucks? It's like, well, because if we press charges or go after them, either we never see the truck again, or it gets held in the courts for months or even years on end, if we ever get the truck back. But if we just let them use the trucks to transport their drugs over the border, we get our trucks back in 3 weeks.
That's right. They'll just leave the truck parked on the side of the road, and we get it back.
And it becomes a partnership through creative math. I mean, that's exactly, and that's what health insurance, and that's what your home economics has to turn into. I mean, Joe, I don't know how many years ago you heard that I don't pay for health insurance, right, Joe? But now you've decided. The only thing
joined Jason.
The only thing I can think of that Joe's doing similar to me in recent years is he decided, well, you know what? Maybe that math makes sense. And it's because for me it did. Here's the thing: there's a lot of emergencies, and all you can sit there and pay for the just in case. You can pay half your income or more than half your income for just in case. Health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, umbrella insurance, all that stuff. And still end up losing in the end, right, Joe? You could end up losing in the end anyways. So to me, build up your wealth and be ready for some minor emergencies. And here's the thing about, well, what if you get into a huge bad car accident? Well, they're not going to kick you out of the hospital. They're going to get you in the hospital. They're going to get you emergency care, and you can deal with the hospital itself, right? I mean,
right. Listen, you think the hospital would be mad if I started paying them $1,500 a month? Nope.
For doing services they do every day.
Right.
For doing services they do every day.
I mean, I'm thinking, I'm 55. I shouldn't say this. My wife is a little younger than me, okay? And by a little, I mean, she's not quite 50. She doesn't like me when I tell her age, but she's pretty close to that big number. But we're healthy people. We actually our youngest son is no longer on our insurance. So we actually went from 3 people to 2 people. And yet our premium went up $300 more a month. Went from $1,200 to $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year. Well, like I said, $10,000 deductible, crappy, $50 pretty much to do anything. Here's the thing. What about people that, let's say they were making, let's say they were making $100,000. Back in the $100,000 was good money. Okay, after taxes, this and that, maybe you got some write-offs. Well, you got let's say $80,000 take home. That's 25% of your take home pay just for the insurance. 800-951-0592 U.S. Silver Eagles. I'm ignoring. I didn't see it. The almost $2 move in silver today. Friday's price, $1,165. The sale will end at the end of the day today. Matter of fact, I don't even have it online. You have to call to get it. $20 gold pieces, guys. We're giving it away 3% over spot. That's it. $42.40. Got spot at $4,100. Just a great opportunity to, it's so funny. What I would say, like normal markets, Jason, that would be below cost. And when you think about I've been doing this, 20-something years now. You've been doing it for what, about 8? Yeah. You just don't see this type of action very often. Obviously, what we're seeing is the exact. Normally, and remember when I started the show, I was like, "Hey, this isn't the gold and silver market of the '80s. This isn't the gold and silver markets of the financial crisis." Those where you saw, at least here in the United States, massive buying from individuals. We're not seeing massive buying from individuals. We're seeing massive buying from central banks, from sovereign wealth funds, from companies, from now a new, how about this, a brand new type of buyer. Right, when we talk about stable coins. Yeah, are they buying treasuries? Yeah, but guess what? They're not that dumb. Even the stable coins are like, we're not just going to buy treasuries. Are you crazy? We're buying gold. Hedge funds buying gold. Banks buying gold. And Jason, what makes it hard is that's so much more than, a guy doing $1 million. That's a big order. $1 million. We've done a few of those. We've done plenty of $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 orders. But you got to remember, just 1 metric ton of gold is 32,115 ounces. I mean, you're talking about, I don't even know what, $140 million a ton. Right? It's overwhelming, the difference. And when we talk about supply and demand, there has been a massive run on the supply. The supply is down to nothing, and yet the demand is getting worse, with the exception of the retail guy, because they're broke, right? A lot of people are like, God, I don't know what to do. And by the way, but Wall Street's still, now it's down a little bit right now, but Wall Street's still near record highs. Okay, here we go. Fed Governor Mirren. Now, he's the one that replaced Kugler. Trump appointed him. Now calling for a half a point rate cut in December. And at the very least, the Fed needs to cut 1/4 point. Here we go, Jason. As I told everyone, the rate cuts are still coming. They are cutting into this bubble.
Right, and we keep talking about the spending. And, I've talked about this. It's been a while, but, quantitative easing could look a little different this time. I think the idea of relaxing regulations on the big banks and letting them print directly from their stores, essentially, they can buy treasuries, and spend dollars without having to go to the Fed directly. That's a way they can kind of hide the quantitative easing. You lower the rates, you relax the regulations for how to create money, right, Joe? And suddenly you got J.P. Morgan Chase just printing money, right?
The problem is, you got to know, one of the things that you also have to remember, they essentially ended all the safeguards that they created in Dodd-Frank for these banks. Right. They don't have to keep any money in reserve. They have no, all the, I guess, safeguards that they put into place. The second things got tough, they got rid of it. And they used COVID as a way to get rid of it, and they've never brought it back. I've been telling you, okay, remember, there's two facilities that are important when we think about liquidity for banks. Reverse repo. That's the good facility. What do I mean by good? That means the bank said, hey, we got plenty of money. Matter of fact, we got so much money, we'll leave it with the Fed because the Fed will pay us to do it. Yep. Taking your deposits to make money off of us. That is empty. It's empty. Then there's the repo facility. That's the bad one. That's the one where banks are saying, okay, I need money. See, I used to have a reserve because you told me after the financial crisis I had to have a reserve. But then during COVID, you said I didn't have to anymore. So I have no reserve. Yep. What I do have is debt. I've got treasury debt. I've got auto loan debt. I've got credit card debt. I got commercial debt. I got housing. What debt would you like? I just need it for a little while. Right? I'm cash poor. That's, definition of a bank saying I'm cash poor by going to the repo window. Here's what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to be able to go to one of their banker buddies at another bank who, hey, I have extra today. Yeah, give me your treasuries, and I'll give you the cash, and then tomorrow we'll trade back, or next week we'll trade back. Jason, they don't want to trade. Because they're like, I don't have any extra money either.
That's why they'll relax the regulations on these bigger banks. They'll just print it, and then they can float their friends, and they will squash all the smaller banks at that time that they want to go to digital anyway. Joe, that's what's happening here. You're gonna see a huge move to digital money. You have regulations that supports the biggest. Look, during the financial crisis, $29 trillion was printed, not the $5.5 trillion, and it went to the big banks and the countries that were in a hole. With this regulation out of the way, the big banks don't need to be funded by the government. They can just create it themselves. And the banks that are also beholden to this debt money system will fold. They'll go to the bigger banks. Hey, big bank, would you please help me out? Let's see. We got a list here. We have the winners list and the losers list. No, you're on the losers list.
No,
you don't get your money.
Loser list.
And then we'll fastly see a bunch of banks fold, Joe, or get completely bought up.
Listen, guys, this isn't guessing. This isn't speculation. This is what's going to happen. You've been listening to me for decades. And you know what? They don't get it exactly right. But we're right. And we're right here about this. This is coming. This is going to happen. You need to get ready. You need to be prepared. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. Gold's up $92.50. $4,095. Silver's up $1.76. $49.98 as we are hoping the government shutdown ends hopefully today. We got another vote or two. And again, it's a continuing resolution. There is no budget. They're going to keep the government open till January 30th of next year, and then pay for a bunch of stuff like food stamps and things of that nature. By the way, anyone that got fired got their job back and their back pay if this bill, which it appears to be getting ready to make its way through the Congress. $20 gold pieces today. I mean, just crazy great pricing right now. 4,240. You got $4,100 gold, and then silver eagles, U.S. silver eagles. Guys, this is a huge opportunity. $50 silver, and I'm literally ignoring a $2 move today from yesterday. 1165 for the rest of the day till we're here. This is not available online. You got to call to lock it in. If you've never ordered from us before, guys, it's so easy. We're not like everybody else. You just call up, I want the special. Today, well, hey, which one? You may say both. Hey, I want the 20s. Great. How much? How many? I mean, that's going to be a hard question. How many? Right? I want silver eagles. I want rolls of U.S. silver eagles. How many would you like? If you have questions, we'll gladly answer them for you. Well, what happens if I call you? Now you're just going to blow up my phone forever. No. Guys, we don't make any outbound phone calls. None. Zero. The only time we call you is if you tell us to. And that's like, hey, we got your check today, right? Hey, Joe, call me the next time you got a great deal on silver eagles. Probably not going to happen. Just being honest, right? Probably not going to happen. Right? We don't call our customers. We don't bother you. We believe in your privacy. 800-951-0592. And then, of course, text it. The need for extra income. We have laid out, my gosh, have we not laid out this case today? Do you not see what's happening? And guess what their solution is? Guess what? Let's spend more money. Let's make money cheaper. Let's cut rates and spend more money. But we've got inflation problems. It's fine. It's mild. The way we count it, 3%. Oh, this is right into, here's the sad part. This is the worst of things. Because let's just say they're right and the jobs report was going to be negative, which it probably was. And let's just say the unemployment rate truly is now 4.5%. But yet we still have inflation and a lot. That's the worst kind, right? There's stagflation and hyperinflation. Which one do you want? Well, hyperinflation is there's a lot of inflation, but we're paying you more, right? Yeah, everybody's working, the economy, we've got a 3% GDP economy, and we've got, 4 or 5% inflation. It's kind of like hyperinflation. Then there's stagflation, which is, well, God, the economy's really not growing, and we're teetering on the brink, and maybe we're close to a recession or in a recession, and yet we still have inflation. Jason, it's starting to look like it's going to be stagflation over hyperinflation.
Yeah, well, we used to talk a lot more about stagflation several years ago. And then we had that really fast inflation after COVID and all the spending. And we still talked about it, but the longer this thing drags, the more, stagflation is absolutely the right word, because it doesn't seem like people's ability to earn money is keeping up with the prices going up, and everything we talked about today. And then we continue to talk about is, hey, it's getting more and more and more expensive to do what you need to do. And you got to find ways. You got to do that creative math, right, Joe, to figure it out.
Especially with the government seemingly now, the debt levels, the inability to continue the subsidizing. I will say this, over the weekend, I was at a great charity event that Texas Coin became a big part of in Scottsdale. It's called the Millionaire Mingle, but it's a big charity event. Very proud Texit decided they lost their big sponsor, and we jumped in, and super cool that we were able to do that. I know we're the Dallas Christmas parade. By the way, it's everyone knows the Macy Day Christmas parade. Well, Dallas apparently has the second biggest one. Their sponsor canceled, the main one, and they were going to cancel the parade. It was getting canceled, and we stepped in. Texas stepped in. The ability you need to find more money. I'll say this, but my buddy, the dude, Steve Walsh, he sent me some pictures. The mine, the first mega mine, we've been waiting and waiting. I know it's been a long, long time. But we had the oil in there circulating. They had problems with it. It's all fixed. All the tanks are being filled. I'm being told we're going to be dropping our servers in that first mega mine. That thing may be up and running as early as tomorrow. I don't want to jinx it. But if everything goes right, guys, get ready. This is going to wake a lot of people up. So if you haven't gotten in yet, now's the time. Get more income. Get that extra income. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. Got gold and silver taking off here. U.S. Silver Eagles. This is the best price, at least in correlation to spot, that we've had on Silver Eagles. Remember, that's the one thing, man. The Silver Eagle premium is just up, up, up. Listen, the Mint's getting ready to shut down for 2026. So if you want to get silver, today's the day to do it. $1,165 a roll. $20 gold pieces, $4,240. Then, of course, Texit. I'm telling you, I'll just share with you because we were texting back and forth, and he said, here's what he said. Finally able to get the circulation system fixed this morning. This was Saturday. It's been the holdup. The first tank is full of fluid and running fine. I will continuing to fill the other 9 tanks now. So each one of these 10 tanks total, because it's immersion-based, 200 servers total. Next week, we are going to be able to add in the miners now. It's a bummer I have to fix something that's brand new, but hey, that's just how things work. And get ready as these mega mines come online, and then Layer 2 coming after it. But Jason, it's the ability to, one of the cool things till the mine is full. I was saying the mine's going to be full in December. Slow down a little bit, so maybe we'll get to like January, which would be great. But once the mine is full, you lose the ability to get that daily income, because that's really what I'm telling everybody right now. Because that's more important than buy. You can go on the exchange right now, buy and sell Texit all you want. But this is about getting paid every single day and doing it for the next 130 plus years. And you're seeing the cost of everything skyrocket. We're telling you, the banks, listen, all they have is debt. They have no more liquidity left. And, of course, what's the government and the Federal Reserve's answer? Spend even more money. What's inflation? It's the printing of money. A symptom of that is rising prices. Look at insurance. That's all you need to know. I cannot tell you how many people that are already collecting Social Security, Jason, that have told me they're already making more a month with Texit coin than their entire Social Security check. I mean, this is the type of difference that it can be made with this.
Yeah, and Joe wasn't saying you're going to lose your daily income if you don't get more now. It's about getting your hash power up as high as you can, so that when you can no longer buy or earn more hash power, you're as big as you can get it before it's it really is a 100 million mega hash mine, and once they are all earned or sold, then the mine is sold out, and your position will be what it is, and there will probably, if Texas can be as accessible as it looks like it can be, there will be people clawing at your hash and offering you large amounts of money because they're going to want that income. And Joe, it's the kind of thing where banks will start to want to buy assets like this that are producing income, and there'll be an absolute value to it.
Absolutely. 800-951-0592.